As we move into the future, one of the priorities we have is learning how to respond to change. Many decades of management learnings have taught us how to do incremental change, agile, lean, Kaizen, incremental innovation. And while these are good in their place, we can become complacent when we think that all of our change is just incrementally getting better. Sometimes there is a fundamental shift, a landslide, an avalanche that entirely changes the landscape of the space that we're looking at. And that kind of change is not incremental. We need to know how to respond to it. We need to stay in a state of dynamic equilibrium, never becoming complacent, that we have what we need to respond to the future. So what does this look like? I'll give a couple of examples. For someone who is employed in a company, they should stop thinking of themselves as an employee with benefits and medical aid, rather think of themselves as a person who has sold their services to a client for this month. At the end of the month, they get paid an invoice instead of a salary, and they can decide whether or not to work with that client for another month or not, just as the client can decide whether or not to renew the contract with that service provider. It's not a comfortable feeling. We're staying constantly at the edge of, will I have a job next month? And that is actually what we need to do, because the illusion of having secure, safe employment is an illusion. It is a lie. It's not true at all. And if we stay sharp, if we stay just on the edge of saying there is no guarantee that in 2 or 3 months' time, I still have this employment, then we can prepare for what comes next. We can learn new skills, we can develop a side hustle, we can learn what we need to make ourselves more valuable to that employer, to that client, or to another potential client. For those in the creator economy, we also need to be very cautious about relying on any app to give us income. Of course, we need to build up and monetize and do all the things that we're doing in order to create those opportunities. But we almost want to see every payment that is received from Amazon or TikTok or YouTube, any of that money that comes to us should be seen as a bonus, wow, this is great that it happened this month. There is no guarantee that it will happen next month. There are numerous painful stories of creators building up an entire platform only to have it whisked away overnight and their income being devastated. We cannot rely on those apps. We should use them, but they need to be part of a bigger business model. And for employers who have those regularly recurring clients, service providers who keep working for you, how do we keep our people ready for the future? We need to keep them sharp by introducing them to new experiences, new opportunities, new learning, and new kinds of training or coaching. Only then can we know that our employees, our team, are prepared for the future. All of this is so that we think about the future differently. We prepare for the future differently from how we prepared for the future in the past. That we need to actually develop thinking that is fit for the future.